actually how it's going to go. This is how it's going to start. We don't have any idea how it's going to finish. In just about 8 seconds or 9 seconds from now, we're going to start talking to Iron Maiden, the reformed version. So stand by for Chaos on VH1.
He's right.
Oh, hi there. This is Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden. It's been a while.
It's been a long time since you've said that, my son, hasn't it?
First time on radio anywhere in the world.
Give us a 20-second potted history of why you're back.
Because it sounded like a good idea.
At the time.
At the time, and because in addition to... I could have come back and sung the songs any old time, right? But when we all got back together in a room,
yeah,
and I said to Steve, and he said, well, why do you want to come back? I said, because, you know, we could be the biggest heavy metal band in the world again, and that's a good reason.
What do you mean, could be?
Well, if we
What's this reticence, could be?
No, it's could be... It depends not just on going out and playing live, but it depends on making an absolutely cracking record. We're in this for the long haul.
Sure.
You know, and we're in this because we are a metal band that typifies metal, like the real spirit of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I think the world needs a dose of that right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go away and we're going to make a metal record, not a sort of AOR type metal record.
You're going to blind everybody and knock their ears off again.
Exactly. And then we're going to put on the best show you will see this side of the Rolling Stones, except it will be a heavy metal band.
Adrian Smith, welcome back.
Hello, how you doing, Tommy?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
Good, very good. Very good, mate.
Where you been? Down the pub?
We're just stuck on the motorway, actually.
Hey. You've been stuck on countless motorways over the years in your rock and roll history.
Just another motorway.
Let's be honest. Well, how does it feel, Squire, to be back?
It feels fantastic.
Yeah.
We haven't played a note yet, but it's. I know everyone's got a feeling it's going to be. You know, it's going to be great.
Of course, it's going to be great. It could be nothing but great. And a 3-guitar smash your head up lineup.
So yeah, we've been talking a bit about that today.
Including Janick goes. Janick, nice.
Hello, Tommy.
Oh, yeah, man.
Lovely to meet you.
You've been known to me for many years. Again. Well, son, how are you?
Great, brilliant. Couldn't be happier. We're very excited about having Adrian back and having Bruce back too. It's going to be incredible. Can't wait to get those guitars strapped on and start the extravaganza.
We're trying to work out how we're going to fit all the equipment on stage.
Yeah, that's the big
bit round of that.
We'll just have to make the stage bigger.
You will?
I think we're seriously thinking about it.
I mean, you'll have to. You'll have to make the stage bigger because it's going to be a sonic three-guitar attack.
Two, isn't it, Tommy?
I love this man. He has such an education.
It's got to be louder. It's got to be bigger, heavier,
broader, grander. Mr. Murray.
Good evening.
How are you?
Very fine, thanks. Doing great.
So you're going to have to get up there and compete with 2 other guitarists now, Squire.
Oh, it's going to be great. I mean, the music I made, you know, can lend itself to 3 guitar players. There's a lot of harmonies and stuff. In fact, when we recorded stuff in the studio, there's a lot of songs where we could have added 3 guitar part harmonies, but we left them off because, you know, before there's only 2.
Sure.
So now we're able to go out stage. I think we can really stretch now the music, and obviously the guitars, a lot of emphasis on that, and plus in the, you know, the harmony part as well. But when we go out on tour, you know, we're going to be doing a lot of the old stuff, and so some of we got probably tweak a few of the songs, you know, add a few things here and there that probably weren't on the live album. You know,
a few more guitar solos, probably.
Yeah, a few more. Yeah, absolutely. Every
Just
few
a
guitar
bit.
solos.
Keep everybody happy, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be guitar frenzy.
I think it will, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, I think if we all tried to, you know, outdo each other, we could probably implode, you know. So, I mean, Dave and I worked together for a long time. I mean, we're pretty easygoing, so, you know, we're not trying to outdo each other.
Yeah. Well, I think obviously the thing where you complimenting each other, and we're able to play music together, and so you know, it's all the chemistry thing will work. You know? Yeah,
it's an exciting prospect, really.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Let's talk in sort of advertising speak. It's a brand name that's been around for 20 years, which is being completely revitalised, and you know, and just taken up to another level. That's the way I view it.
Yeah, that's what it kind of feels like.
Yeah, it's coming in. You know, sort of historically, Maiden's been around, and so now we're just pushing forward. Yeah, so it's like another level.
Voice of Iron Maiden Spectacular coming at you from the Rock Radio Network here in London. Bruce is back on the mic. Bruce, I've got some questions via email.
Oh, right, hi.
Fancy a few?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, any UK gigs this year, says John of London?
Nope.
Okay, there you go,
easy.
John. Short, sharp, boom, there you go.
Next year.
Likely to do X Factor stuff live or Virtual 11. Vlad of London and Dave of Banbury.
Yep, Vlad the Impaler, yes. Vlad the Impaler.
What older stuff will you be playing? Eamon and Raymond of Northern Ireland.
Well, all right, I suppose I should just say right from the get-go, the set that we will be playing this summer has been voted for, our hands are tied. It's been voted for on the internet by Iron Maiden fans. And it's actually a really cool set. There's 15 or 20 songs, and we'll be playing all of them. And all the songs, as I said, come out on the CD and blah, 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 blah. But the thing is it's a great selection of stuff, and some of it's Virtual 11 stuff, and I don't have a problem.
So it's right across?
Yeah, it's right away across.
Pretty much close to what we would have picked anyway, you know, looking at the songs, you know, because we wanted something that went across and featured all, you know, stuff from all the albums.
It works out really good. It's actually a really good mix between the sort of the big epics and the shorter, sharp ones. In fact, when we said it, when we were listening to it, Nick said, "Oh Christ, it sounds like about 2.5 hours, that set." And actually, in fact, it's about 1:40.
Yeah.
Because the songs they picked are so like punchy, you know.
What was the last record you bought?
I have sort of an eclectic taste, I suppose. So like Monster Magnet and Richie and Garbage and probably some, you know, some sad old record from somewhere else. I can't remember. Probably some old Arthur Brown record or something.
Fire!
Yeah.
What about you, Adrian?
Have you got my mate? Living down in Lewis,
what sort of
mate.
stuff do you like?
What sort of stuff?
Yeah.
I love,
and as when it comes to guitarists, who do you go,
Yeah.
wow, I can improve on that lick?
Well, I don't know about that, but I love this, you know, Gary Moore, Satriani, Eric Johnson. I mean, there's so many great players out there. I find that inspiring.
Janick, can I have a word with you about your history as a guitarist, which I know about,
certainly
because
can.
I've known you forever, but give us, where did you first start?
Started off with a band called White Spirit, and we used to play and see Bruce in his band, which was Samson at the time. That's
we
when
did
first met.
Yeah, and I saw him and I thought,
This is going back 20 years.
I want to have a band with this fella,
Yeah.
you know. And we both got together and
Eventually.
And eventually we said, you know, one day we shall have a band. And we did, didn't we?
And we drunk to that. Yeah, we had a
We
drink
drank
to
to
that.
We had a drink to that, and then you know, he was living down in Hounslow, and then I was living in Chiswick in London, and we were. One thing led to the other, and I had a summer sort of off, as it were.
No, we did a thing
Maiden.
with Fish. And
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we did all the young dudes at Wembley.
All the young dudes at Wembley for a charity thing, and we said must do this again one of these days, and then
got together. Did Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter.
Then somebody said, "Have you got any more stuff like this?" And I went, yes, I lied. and the guy said, "Oh, because we've got a studio spare and we've got a producer spare, so I mean, you could go in next month and do an album." And
So
I was
we
like,
did.
"Oh, good." So I went round his place, and where he was living under the final approach path to Heathrow Airport.
I was living next door to where Ian Gillan was born, believe it or not.
Really?
The next house to where Ian Gillan was born, which was really weird.
'Cause you were in Gillan?
His band.
Yeah.
And so he came round and we sat and we wrote some songs together, which became Tattooed Millionaire.
In between the jets that were screaming overhead, because
Yeah.
he used to have to stop about every 30 seconds while this went...
Now, I've got to say this, and this is
What
true.
was that note you played? You know?
He is louder than Concorde, there's no doubt about it.
When Adrian left, I was, in a sense, put in a bit of a difficult position because Janick had played on Tattooed Millionaire and had done the tour with me, and I thought, well, I can't. You know, I feel like I'm just like jumping into dead men's shoes if I go and, you know, sort of go, you know, Jan should, you know, what about my mate Jan, you know, for the band and everything, even though I thought he'd be absolutely brilliant. And it was actually Nicko that said, what about that bloke that plays with Bruce's band? Janick, he's brilliant, geezer.
He's
you know?
all right.
And everybody sort of went, yeah, that'd be all right. And I was sort of like, well, he gets my vote,
I
certainly,
think
you know.
It always pays to buy Nicko a drink when you're out there.
If we've made any mistakes, we've made them for all the best reasons.
That's great.
And I can't think of a better reason to make a mistake than to make it for the right reason. And so we're not going to make any on the next record.
Okay.
We're going to get a killer record.
And Maiden Special on the Rock Radio Network. We've got most of the band here. Steve could not be with us tonight. He apologises for that. He wishes he could be, but he sends you all his best wishes.
How has it been doing songs with Iron Maiden after quite a few years?
It feels great. I think we're doing something off every single Iron Maiden album that's ever been released. So you got a couple of songs of everything, so it goes right back the whole catalogue of albums. And certainly the songs, you know, I haven't played for 8 or 9 years feel really fresh, you know. having the 3 guitar thing it's a new lineup, really. You know, and who's ever done that? And it's kind of exciting. We don't quite know how we're going to manage it in the studio yet, but live it's working out great. It's been a lot of fun, and I think it's going to be interesting on the record. I think it's going to give the music an interesting dimension. The audience reaction is just blows me away every night. I mean, I remember we did a lot of touring in the 80s, but the reaction in you know, in Paris we had 16,000 people, and it was, you know, like I say, we play something from every record, and we play all what people would consider the classic Maiden tracks. I mean, one after the other.
We wanted to get back together again and make a great album and go out on tour. And no, I mean, this isn't, you know, this is a brand new lineup really, and we're doing it for the right reasons, you know, and they're personal reasons for it. We want to make great music.
We got, I mean, we did get, you know, like people sort of going, you know, making odd insinuations like that. Very few actually. But, you know, obviously 1 or 2 people raised it because it's a sort of a legitimate question to ask, because you can ask it about anybody like that, you know, so you get back together because of the money. But in our case, we were actually quite fortunate because we all suddenly became unexpectedly wealthy last year, sitting on our asses, basically, because our management sold all of our back royalties. I said, so what happens if we don't get back together? And the guy said, oh, you get the money anyway. I said, so we get the money for sitting on our asses and not doing anything? He said, well, yeah. I went, oh, good. Well, in that case, let's get back together and make a great record. Because, you know, so when people turn around and say, oh, you're just doing it for the money, it's like, well, no, actually, if I was just doing it for the money, I wouldn't be here at all, you know. I'd be on my PC tapping into the stock market, you know, buying Amazon.com or some crap like that, you know. But this is much more fun, and it's much more meaningful.
I think we were looking for something to do something a bit different, get a producer, move studios. We actually hooked up with Columbia Records in America. Kevin's worked with a lot of their artists, Black Crowes and Aerosmith. We loved the sound of his stuff. And we wanted someone to do justice to the band. And, you know, we talked about it, and he said that he was going to, you know, we said, well, what are you going to do? And I kept asking him, you know, you got any favourite amps you want to use? And he kept looking at me blankly, you know. He said, I'm going to set you up like you do live, and we're going to record it.
We weren't sure exactly what we wanted in a producer, but we knew what we didn't want. You know, we did not want somebody that was going to come in and go, well, basically, you know, you're a bunch of old has-been guys who, you know, have this old sound. You know, you need to, like, you know, completely get rid of all that stuff and start bringing in some of the really cool sounds, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, guys like that would have lasted 5 seconds. And Kevin just sat there and sort of went, well, what do you expect me to say? I mean, I saw you live the other day and you sounded great. So that's what you should sound like. And we are a weeny bit more grown up in some senses. I mean, there's almost like a progressive, sort of a prog rock element to this album, which I think will probably take 1 or 2 people a little bit by surprise. It's slightly unexpected, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I think people would be very disappointed if they got an average record, and also very disappointed if they got a record which tried to desperately follow fashion. When we had no money and when we had a lot of money, it was when we wrote our best songs. Because at both stages we didn't give a shit. You know, we have no money, you know. Nothing to lose. Lots of money, who cares? Just go for it and do what you believe in, you know. And the show last time was pretty spectacular. We were aware that we were going to be doing the tour this time around, so we did hold a few things back. We didn't go the whole hog.
Save something.
Yeah, save something, hold something back. So, but effectively, we're going to be going with a big pyro show. There's going to be lots of smoke and bangs and explosions and monsters and burning wicker men, and we'll see if we can arrange a few naked nymphs as well. You know, we might have to take volunteers for that.
Yeah.
Having been in Maiden and then having rejoined Maiden, it is really
appropriate that we should all be going back up to the peak of where we were, I suppose, 10 or 12 years ago. And we're going to go back to that peak now, and we may very well end up going beyond it, which is nice because we have really nothing to lose, everything to gain, and we're having loads of fun doing it.
Well, first of all, we were contemplating doing Donington. We couldn't do Donington in August because we were going to be in America and South America. We couldn't get the gear back. So we thought, well, what day can we do it? And the only day that worked was tomorrow. And so then we got a set together, we got the people together we thought we'd like to do it. We asked various bands. We were getting a line-up almost organised. And at just that moment, the England-Germany game was announced, and we just said, well, I don't know if anybody else will be there, but us six won't be there. We'll be watching the game. So we said, we're not going to do that now. So then the Hyde Park one kind of got knocked on the head because that was the same day, and the only other option was today. And then as Cork came up, and we just felt we'd never played here before, and it's a thrill. It's a thrill to play somewhere new. In this, in London, so that became the place to go.
Historically, every tour we've done, it's been based on the new album. So the new material is in the front. The whole production, the whole concept around is based on the new material, and that's what we've done with this album. We're playing, most of the tracks from the album. Plus, dotted throughout the set will be some of the old classics that we've been doing for years. We'll keep in. Everything is always focused on the new album, except for the Ed Hunter tour, which is like a celebration of Bruce and Adrian coming back in the band.
Yeah, really.
And it was the Ed Hunter thing, so it was that whole thing. Let's go out, get the band fired up for the new album.
We went in with a lot of momentum from that too, and that you can feel that on that album, I think. And having Bruce and Adrian back's been great. It's had a lot of depth to the band, and it's just given us a few more options. And everyone knows Adrian's a bit of a sex beast to look at, so all the women are coming. I mean, on Adrian and Dave's side of the stage, it's just unbelievable. It's just women for days, and I've got the heavy metalers on my side.
So, does having 3 guitarists in one band ever cause problems?
Oh yeah, we fight all the time.
Oh yeah.
This is the kind of thing that happens between us. Because I said hello to Dave and he burnt my hand with his cigarette. It's just the kind of thing that happens every day.
It's left hand. Yeah.
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah. Sparks are flying. It's like
Then he'll burn my finger off. Look, I'll be able to play with 3 fingers. There's no fighting. It's really natural. It's very, very natural. We're all very different guitar players, and certain kind of people are going to play a solo in that particular song, which will make the song work better. And that's the person who does the solo. And to be honest, we didn't even argue about anything ever. I think we got together for half an hour to work the set out, what we were going to play. And it was the question of, well, Adrian, you take that one, I'll take this one. Dave would go. Well, Dave didn't really have a problem because he was doing the same ones anyhow. It's just between me and him, changing them around and equaling it out, really.
Yeah, it reflects on Brave New World as well. We're actually complementing each other, and it adds a lot of colour to it. I mean, as well, having 3 guitars, I think this is probably, it makes it more musical in a way. I mean, obviously can make it very heavy, but the thing is keeping the melody to it.
Jetzt bei uns, große Gäste, Iron Maiden. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Hello. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm asleep.
I can hear you, yeah.
Oh, cool. That's good. So you just arrived from bed?
Yeah, that was weird. How did you know I was on?
I can't remember.
I think you've been massaged to the point
I was in there. I got a really bad neck and stuff, so this guy was manipulating my neck, and I fell asleep. It was great.
Cool, that's good. So how often have you been here now in Roskilde?
Twice.
Twice? You like it? You like playing festivals?
Can I say I like it because I think it's one of the few festivals with lots of different types of music on, and I think that's great. It reminds me of Reading Festival. Remember Reading? Which is a great British festival, blues, jazz, rock. And I think there's a lot of festivals around where there's just one type of music, and I love this because there's so many different types of music, and it's great. Very exciting for me, I think. Very musical.
Nice. How is it on tour now after all this break off? After all this staying in the studio, do you like it, being on stage, being on tour again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, well, I haven't stopped being on tour. I mean, I was on tour the whole time anyway. I mean, we've all been touring, for the last 10 years. Whether it's been solo bands or with Iron Maiden or whatever.
I thought after the recording in the studio.
Yeah.
For the album. Now.
Yeah.
This
I think we're a touring band really, more than an album band. We go in the studio to make albums so we can come out and tour. And this tour is going to go into November. It's going to take in a lot of places, and amongst them America, South America, Japan, you know, the whole of the world really. And it's been great, and we love playing live. And that's what this band is, it's a live band. Right.
When I've been walking through these festivals, I saw all these young boys with these T-shirts of Eddie, and so I wonder myself, I mean, there are real Iron Maiden fans, but you had this break now in between, so why do you think do you have such a young audience as well as elder people?
I think it's really healthy that a lot of young kids get into it too. You know, we've got a lot of older people that have been there from the beginning. They move to the back of the hall probably, you know. And the younger kids come forward.
Or they just
die. Some of them die.
Yeah. Some of them die.
Some of them get their hair cut, move to the back of the hall. Some move front, but the kids come
and the
to the
other
front.
ones, they breed.
They do breed.
They do breed.
I've been told.
Fans. They breed. They procreate, and that's where the new ones come out.
I assume, yeah.
So you know, what you're seeing is like the endless cycle of nature repeating itself and life. You know.
I think Eddie's been busy as well. You know, helping out.
Yeah, the old fans eat the new ones, and the new fans eat the old fans, and they, you know. But actually, the reason why. Oh, a load of bullshit. the reason why we're getting new fans, I think, is because what we're doing is good stuff. I mean, it's difficult to say it without sounding big-headed, but this is really good stuff. And the new record is a great album. It doesn't matter whether it's an Iron Maiden album or anything. It's a great album, and it's totally unfashionable. Like, it's not part of being trendy or being this, or it's not fucking Gucci rock. You know, we don't wear hey, Mr. Armani. You know. Yeah, right. You know, I mean, I find it hard to shave and wash in the morning, let alone put on all that Armani crap. So Armani and Gucci do not apply. I do not wear your products. They're a load of shit. Only wankers and pimps wear them. Anyway.
If you got any free jeans, pass them to me.
Yeah, give it to him. I don't wear jeans. I wear pajamas. So, you know, but what? How old am I?
No.
I'm 42 next birthday.
No, I just wanted to know, do the people on the street recognize you?
If they've seen me the night before. But sometimes, sometimes every now and again, but sometimes not. I don't really care, actually. I mean,
you can go through the streets.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I think we have Eddie, and I think Eddie's on the cover, and that takes a lot of the pressure off us. And I think that's good. We can go shopping in Sainsbury's and Chiswick without any problem, which is great.
I don't. Well, if you forget your money.
Well, if you don't have any money.
If you don't have any money, you can't go shopping.
Can be a bit of a problem.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't need to be.
I hope this is going to be edited.
No. I'm going to do something I'm going to do something heavy metal in a minute. Shred.
Very aggressive, man. Be careful.
The incredible shredding cup, man. I don't need to be recognised and have all that ego, stuff and everything. And I hate going to clubs and famous places and meeting famous people, and all that.
I was just interested if you can go alone on the street and have your quietness. So
yeah, and it's great, especially in England, because the English really kind of tend to leave you alone. It's that English thing of if there's a murder going on next door to you, they go. Yeah, right. Would you mind killing him a little more quietly?
Wait a minute, I live over the road from you. I would save you. I would come over and save you.
Well, yeah, but that's funny because you're from the north. You see, we're both from the north, so we're different to Londoners, But...
Okay, gentlemen, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having you.
Very good.
It's been a pleasure.
It's coming up.
An honor. Well, welcome back to TC Rock, and like I said, this is a very special time. We have Dave Murray and Adrian Smith, two of the very older members of Iron Maiden. How you guys doing?
Yeah, we're doing great, thanks. Yeah, excellent.
I hate to say older members, but you guys are. I mean, we're all, I don't know, older's the word for it, but, when I was like back in high school, one of the first times I saw you guys, the Number of the Beast tour with the Scorpions back in the Open Coliseum, it was a great show. I mean, that was in the very earlier days, I guess you could say, of, that was your first time with me, wasn't it?
What year was that?
Number of the Beast!
Yeah, no, that was my second tour, I think.
That was your second tour, so you were actually on the Killers tour. Oh, yeah, well, Killers is one of my favorite albums, I'll tell you. That album is probably, like I said, I love a lot of all of Bruce's stuff, but Killers was my first album to listen to of Maiden. Maybe that's why it's still my favorite. You know, Bruce came on in the band. I mean, you guys, in a sense, this is a reunion per se. I don't know if you want to call it reunion's the word for it, but, you know, Brave New World, a great new album. The first album with Bruce, you guys produced it together. How was the production? How was the chemistry when you guys get back together after this long time?
Well, actually, we went to Portugal for a few months, and basically we had our own little, you know, apartment. So then we'll just meet every day, and then all the ideas started flowing for the material for the new album. So everyone was kind of pitching in various odds and ends and bits and pieces. So we were actually really collectively living together. Normally we'd be, we'd record in England, so that everyone would go home and meet up. So we actually, we'd see each other down the pub in the evening.
We've been living together for the past almost 2 years.
Yeah.
It's been going well.
Absolutely.
Well, we're still friends.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to see the fact that you can get back together. And I mean, everybody, all the fans, of course, Blaze was cool. I mean, he had his time and he did some stuff there, but you can't compete with Bruce. I'm sorry.
Well, I know they're big shoes to fill. I mean, and also, Bruce. I mean, coming in, with the lyrics and the passion, enthusiasm, and I think a lot of people identify Maiden because he was in the band for a long period of time. The same with Adrian. So I mean, I think it's getting the band back together in this format. You got the best. It's like fielding your best baseball team or whatever, best soccer team.
All stars.
Fielding the best band and creatively, everyone's just going and it shows. I think from
you got 5 songwriters in the band now. So you got a lot of ideas.
Nicko doesn't write.
He does a bit, but not for Maiden really. And so you got 5 songwriters. You are going to get some friction. Not everyone can get their ideas on, but I think that's what makes a good band. You've got to have that competition. Like you said, it's like a soccer team. If everyone is sure of their place, you get complacent, and you can't get complacent. So now there's like an edge to the band again.
But I got to talk about this 3-guitar attack. I mean, how do you guys do? What do you guys do? Rochambeau to decide who's going to do the solo or what?
Because there's the 3 amigos. Yeah. There's only 2 of us at the moment, but yeah, it was pretty. We get on really well. There was no real friction as far as that goes. There's everyone. Can throw in their little ideas. So hence in the songs you find little guitar melodies that are weaving in and out the songs, and most of the songs there's a few solos or whatever. So everyone gets a chance to actually to express themselves. There's nobody's frustrating this band, And I think we never, as far as solos things.
I think coming into this with 3 guitar players, I think if we tried to outdo each other and it wouldn't work. I think when we went into it, we knew it was going to be a team effort. We knew there wasn't any previous ground rules because no one's really done it. So, it could have gone horribly wrong. But like Dave says, I think as people, we get on really well. And we try and work as a team, And we all got different guitar styles anyway.
Well, it's been beautiful chemistry. I mean, I remember one of my favorite shows I ever saw was Peace of Mind Tour with you guys, Saxon, which is actually one of my top 5 bands also, along with you guys, and Fastaway. And it was amazing that album was one of the most complex albums, I must say. It seems like, at least at the stage when I was listening to you back then, of course I was just a high school kid,
Thanks.
But Amazing Lights, you've always had creative, theatrical ideas, very, very vivid. I think it's a great part of your show. Exactly who does all this and why the big push on the theatrical side?
I think we've always done from day one actually. Even when we were playing pubs, we used to have like a little kabuki mask behind the drummer at the end of the show. Dry ass would come out and fake blood, and then the singer way back then used to have like a saber that used to draw across his mouth and blood, So there's used to like fake blood. So there was always a little bit of that behind anyway. So we just kind of developed the whole thing, and as each tour got bigger, so did the production. And I think someone like Somewhere in Time was like massive. Power Slave. The Brave New World tour. This is a pretty mega production we're bringing out at the moment.
Can't wait to see it.
We've always tried to do that. I think so. So you come and see a show visually, you've got this, and then you've got the music. So it's stimulating all the senses. You can actually watch it or listen. And there's always, we've got pyros, we've got lights that are moving around, we've got eddies coming out, we've got wicker women, we've got virgins, we've got everything.
Well, virgins, those are hard to find, aren't they?
Technically, they're not virgins. We had a problem when we came to the United States finding virgins, but you got to have a show, you got to, especially if you're playing in larger places. You've got to come over larger than life. You've got to give people a show.
Hi everybody, this is Rob Halford, the Metal God, still taking over the rock show to bring you on kick-ass night here at Madison Square Gardens. Opening night of the Brave New World Tour with great bands, Queensryche, Maiden, Halford band. I'm standing here with my mate, Bruce Dickinson, my fellow UK streamer. What's up, Bruce? Ready for the big show tonight?
Yeah, hang on.
You see, if I don't have the cue cards, I stumble and fumble over myself.
We just talk normally, don't we?
Yes, we do.
No, go on then.
So anyway, here we are backstage. It's the opening night of the big Brave New World Tour.
They've read all that crap.
Yeah, I know. I'm just repeating myself for the sake of rock and roll.
But right now, blah, blah, the good old days, and what a load of bollocks.
Tell us what's going to go on tonight, Bruce.
Well, it's going to be great. Can I swear? Oh, all right, it's going to be great. There you go. Yeah, it's going to be great. I mean, it's sold out, 2 hours. You know, I mean, he's got them all going. They're working very hard to top what he's done earlier on, and we're going to work very hard to top what they're doing out there. So it's great. There's going to be lots of fireworks, bangs, explosions. I'm going to swing like a headless chicken all over the place and generally do myself physical injury. So it's great. Come and watch.
We're going all over America together. We're going to be tearing up America, having a great time. Eddie's going to be out every night.
He is in fact out every night, yeah. He's looking more cadaverous and rotten than usual. And all in all, we're having a splendid time, you know, more fun than gentlemen of our age should really be allowed to have legally.
We're going to show an amazing Iron Maiden video, Run to the Hills. You want to tell us anything about that fantastic video?
Yes, we nearly had a punch up in the backstage after this one. In the good old days, we used to make videos in between the sound check and doing the gig. So we came on stage. We did this video at a place called Newcastle City Hall, and we shot the video. And sorry, that was Number of the Beast. That was Number of the Beast. We had the punch up. Yeah, this one was done at the Rainbow, and we were all relatively. There was no audience for this one, so we were faking it completely. And the director had the stunning vision that he would have lots of fake Red Indians from 1920s films, and have them all with bows and arrows, you know, from a Buster Keaton film, from Paleface. All deeply politically incorrect, but the song is in fact about the plight of the American Indian, and when video directors do this kind of thing, you can see why the American Indians had such a plight.
Still here with Bruce backstage of the Brave New World Tour opening night, Madison Square Gardens. It's been a killer. Stick around in a minute, we're going to show some amazing footage of Maiden live here at the Gardens. We're going to be right back on the rock show. Don't go anywhere.
I better go and get changed if you're going to go and do that.
Go and do it, Bruce. Fun to work.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye.
Hello, boys and girls. Hello, boys and girls. All right? I feel like a fish out of water with this thing in my hand.
Last year we talked about you reuniting. How did it work? How did it work out? Were you expected also?
Yeah, it was tragic, wasn't it? Really? Was it? Was it?
I don't know.
No, it wasn't. That's great.
Asking him, is it? He's only the drummer.
Hey, what am I doing holding this thing? Tell me. So what am I doing holding a bloody microphone? No, it's been fantastic, really.
Yeah, it's been really good. Yeah, we did the Adrian tour last year, and that was great. And this has started off really well, so going very well. In how many months did you make the album? It took about 4 months, but we had a couple of weeks break for Christmas, so in actual real time for about 3.5 months probably.
Yeah, pretty quick one, really. Had a great time. I was like, a week doing a drum track, and I pissed off back to Florida, and it's like sitting in the middle of the winter in Paris, and I'm back home going, I wonder how they're getting on then.
Yeah, sure he was. Did you miss being on stage together?
Oh yeah, when they were in the studio. Oh, what with Bruce? Ah, not really. Well, I am trying to grow it, boys and girls. Look, you know. Oh yeah, we did. You know, I mean, when you're in a band with guys for as long as we were, actually Steve longer than myself. I mean, I had 10 years with Bruce. You know, it's very difficult when somebody, you know, go, oh, I'm off. You know, you miss them. Plus, he owed me a £5, and he ain't paid me back yet. With interest, it should be worth 50 quid now, shouldn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we kind of missed him. Yeah, you do. You know. But we just got on with it, you know, and we went out and made 2 great albums. We had Blaze in the band there. We did 2 great tours, and we had a great time. But it just does feel like complete again. And also having Adrian in the band too, which is great. I mean, the only problem with that is we got to split the gig pot 6 ways now.
Well, Bruce, did you feel that you owe this show, this Greek show, to the fans? Because the previous one was cancelled due to Janick injuries.
Yeah, well, we had to drive a long way from England all the way to Greece and back again, just for one show. So, but we don't mind doing it. It's a thank you to the Greek fans. It was unfortunate the show got cancelled, but this way, you know, I think everything's going to be okay.
Well, how many gigs are left till the end of the tour?
This is it.
This is the end, and as I know, is the Rock in Rio or something like that?
Yeah, there's some shows in January in Buenos Aires, Chile, Mexico City, and Rio.
And as I know, you're gonna record a live in Rio, and you're gonna release a DVD, a live album.
That's correct. Yeah.
And why did you decide to release the live performance in Rio and not the Earl's Court or the Madison Square Garden, which were a huge success? I know.
Because Rio is just such a great event, and I think there's going to be maybe, I don't know, there's going to be more people in Rio than anywhere else that we're playing this year. And Rio is a great place to film a DVD. It's, you know, they're filming it anyway. They have 16 cameras there already. The whole thing is set up for filming.
Well, Bruce, everybody knows that a lot of pressure is imposed on Maiden. I mean, managers, fans, labels want a lot of things from you. Does these things allow you to have fun on stage, to have fun when you're making music?
Oh, yes. In fact, we probably have more fun when we're making music than any other time, because when we're on stage for 2 hours, it's the only time the phone can't ring, you know.
So what do you prefer, being on the stage and performing live, or being in the studio and working on new ideas?
I don't like being in the studio, but I do like working on new ideas.
To work them on mind or something like that, not the studio?
Yeah, writing. I like the excitement of writing a new song and imagining how it's going to turn out, and I like the imagination process. Working in a studio is quite the opposite. The inspiration is all in the song, and it's the inspiration that I'm addicted to. The executing the song in the studio is more painstaking, and actually it's just bloody boring sometimes. You know, you take your dream and your vision and you watch it get broken down into tiny pieces and stuff, and there are producers love that. So that's why we have a producer.
That's their work.
Yeah, that's what they love that. That's their inspiration, and I'm glad they exist, because, you know, I can't do what they do. I have no real interest in it.
Yeah. Well, Bruce, do you perceive this huge success of Brave New World as a revenge to everybody who said that Maiden have nothing to offer to the music of today, that Maiden are dead?
Well, it gave me a certain amount of satisfaction doing a great album like Brave New World with Maiden. A lot of people made predictions that, you know, that we were only getting back together, you know, for some money, and the album would be shit, or that Brave New World would sound like Chemical Wedding, or that, you know, all this stuff. And it was funny because we knew when we started writing the song, this is going to be a great Maiden album.
Well, metal is considered today totally uncool and outmoded. Do you think that Maiden can help in order to make metal popular again?
I'm not sure whether I want metal to be popular again.
Why not?
I think metal is better when it's underground. I mean, also, let's look. I mean, we've sold, you know, over 1.5 million albums. You know, I don't mind being unpopular.
Yeah. But do you think that in the year 2000, Maiden can still be influential to a new generation of musicians?
Yes, because there are very few people out there doing what we do, and when people hear what we do, they're very interested in how we do it, how we get away with it, and the fact that it is different to everything that's going on at the moment.
What do you have to say about the whole Napster hypothesis?
Oh, well. A lot of fuss over nothing.
Why is that?
Napster's been around for a while.
Doesn't this influence the sales of the band?
It hasn't influenced our sales at all. In fact, CD sales have gone up since Napster. Napster is about making money.
Yeah.
That's why they're doing the file swap thing. You see, it's in the end, a lot of very rich people put money to start Napster.
Yeah.
Now, ask yourself, why would a lot of very rich capitalists give something away for nothing and spend a lot of money doing it?
To get some more money.
To get some more money. Now, Napster's free. How can they get more money? Answer, they can't. But Napster is blackmail.
Yeah.
Because what happens is when everybody is sharing all their music through Napster, Napster then goes, hey, look, we have a distribution network worldwide that bypasses all the major labels. And Napster, what you bet, Napster Records Incorporated, and Napster starts putting an album out and it's only available on Napster, and then you pay money. And I think this was their plan. The same with MP3.com. That was their plan too. And so now Napster have done a deal with BMG, and they're going to start charging money.
Yeah.
So eventually everybody's going to start. I mean, you don't get anything in this world for free. Artists do have to be paid, but the lawsuit against Napster, I thought was, you know, we refused to be part of it.
Yeah.
You know, because I thought it was not for bands to be attacking their fans. All the fans were doing was sharing information, sharing tapes, if you like in the old days when you made cassette player tapes. That was all. So I look at it as this is the people trying to position themselves for maybe 10 years' time when you will be able to buy music on the web, online, properly.
Well, Bruce, how do you choose the tracks that you perform live every night? According to which criteria have you chosen the set list?
Well...
And is it the same for every stop of the tour?
Yes, it's pretty much the same set list every night. Basically, we chose songs which were maybe a little bit more obscure than normal. Like last year was definitely a greatest hits type thing. So this year we wanted to do not greatest hits. You know, a song really for people that had bought all the Iron Maiden albums.
Also, your stage show always was and still is very impressive and expressive, I think. What does this happen? Is it so important, the stage show, for you?
Yeah, it is. I think that the band's always had a reputation for putting on a good stage show, and I think if you can be a little bit creative with it, then it's fun, it's entertaining. It's what lifts the band out of being just another metal band, you know.
We don't have more time. Your message to the Greek fans, Bruce?
We'll see you all, or most of you, later tonight. Have fun. Don't get hurt. I hope you really enjoy the show.